Hey you guys, it's Moonlander back with another horror movie review. And today we're going to be looking at a horror anthology available to watch on Amazon Prime, and it's called Minutes Past Midnight. So in this horror anthology you get 9 short stories, and they were handpicked by Rue Morgue and Unstable Grounds from a film festival called Little Terrors that's held in Toronto, Canada.
It's not like there's anything else to focus on, like my boyfriend just killing someone.
And this one, only one is in Spanish and subtitled. The rest are all in English. So you get 9 short stories, and they're all wide-ranging and done in different ways. I would say that there's probably more comedy-type horror than anything else, but it's definitely a good variety. And even one of them, as far as I could tell, it looked like it was done with puppets, and it was done really well, and it looked good. So it starts off with a short about a couple of guys that are on their way, I guess, looking for this guy's grandparents, and they happen along a couple of cannibals. And then next you have one called Awake that's about parents dealing with their son that seems to have some sort of disorder. And then you get a sort of romantic comedy one called Crazy for You about a serial killer that kills people wearing polka dots and him dealing with his newfound love for a woman. Then you have The Mill at Calder's End, which appeared to be done with puppets, and it was really pretty neat one. Then you get this absolutely crazy one called Roid Rage, and it's talking about hemorrhoids and a guy with a monster in his butt. Then there's one called Feeder about a struggling musician that moves into a new apartment, and there appears a outline of a mouse on his floor. He sacrifices animals on the floor of his apartment. He can hear music that inspires him to write great music. Then next you get Timothy, which is the Spanish language one, where a kid's being babysitted by a young woman, and his desire to keep watching this show about Timothy the bunny rabbit, somehow it happens that Timothy actually comes to the home after the babysitter makes him turn the show off. Next you have Ghost Train, which was about 2 grown men visiting an abandoned theme park where there was a haunted house where their friend died when they were children, and they were revisiting the site. Then the last one they have is Horrific, which is a comedy about a guy living in a trailer that's terrorized by chupacabra. So the good things about this anthology is it was a good variety. There was quite a bit of humor throughout a good portion of the shorts. And then the one that really sticks out in my mind as being the special one of the bunch was the Roid Rage. And it's completely ridiculous, and it's funny. And you can tell whoever made it was inspired by trauma films for sure. Okay, so the bad things about this anthology is I don't really have much negative to say. Well, all the stories were decent. Other than Road Rage, nothing really sticks out in my mind as being that great or special. But it is all pretty decent. And the only other thing I could say is that they didn't really concern themselves with having a transition story. All you really get for a transition is the minute hand on a clock changing minute to minute. So my final thoughts on this is that this is a horror anthology I would definitely suggest to people. If you're in the mood for a horror anthology, this is definitely one worth checking out. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it on there for free. And if you like trauma movies or you like really disgusting and ridiculous horror comedy, you definitely want to see the Roid Rage short on this one. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and comment below if you've seen this with your thoughts. See you on the next one.